Look around yourself. What do you see apart from your phones, televisions, laptops, and the infinite perks around the world? Is the shelter above your head significant enough to you to even mention it as a part of your surroundings? That's how far man has come from being a hunter-gatherer to an ore-obsessed materialistic being. When you think about it, the evolution of man from an animal to a self-proclaimed title of being the most intelligent species to have ever lived all started with a quest to survive. I mean, the main purpose of all the technology surrounding you is to make our lives easier. But man has indulged himself into improving the technology so much so that he has forgot the sole purpose of all these things. That is, to survive.
Humans have separated themselves from nature. A very apt term to describe this would be eco-appetite. Man has come to view nature, or in fact the entire universe itself, as parts of his possession, but the fact is, human life itself is a possession of the ecosystem and the environment. We need to take a step back and observe. We aren't actually the most intelligent. We aren't even the best equipped. Many animals have blended their intelligence with the environment and have learned to coexist with it. Termite moths have such a good design that it keeps them cool even on a hot day. We have created artificial air conditioners to achieve this. Many predators possess nocturnal vision which helps in catching their prey. Night vision goggles and cameras are one of the most cutting-edge technologies that we have invented. Bats can emit and sense ultrasonic waves which help it to navigate. We have used the same principle in submarines. Ants have well-divided labor and extreme discipline. This is something which we are yet to achieve.
Isn't this beautiful? Well, we are butchering it. We have proven to be a disaster for the environment. The forest cover has faded, animals and birds along with it. Amazon forest in Africa is the prime example for this. The coral reefs of Australia are also under danger. We can trace all of this back to a few factors like deforestation. We currently face more and more problems. They have become so severe that they may soon start threatening the whole environment along with the human race.
Garbage is one of the main problems we face today. Every year, an estimated 2.2 billion tons of waste is dumped in our oceans. At the rate we are going, we will need 1.5 Earth to sustain our needs. Disposal of garbage mainly occurs through dumping, burying, or burning. But neither of these methods is good for us or for the environment. Burning garbage in incinerators releases dangerous gases and dust. They in turn contribute to global warming. They also pollute lakes, rivers, forests, and cities far away from where they are burnt. Most incinerators are now being modified to remove most of the particles and pollutants, thus ensuring cleaner air. But the bulk of what they remove ends up in a landfill.
Burying garbage causes land and soil pollution. Landfills also have their downsides. They also contribute to soil and water pollution. They contaminate groundwater and pollute nearby streams and lakes. Open dumps often become breeding grounds for mosquitoes and flies and other disease carriers. They also take up large space, produce an unpleasant odor, and become source of wind-blown debris and other nuisance. Land pollution may also be caused by construction and demolition waste and hazardous waste from industries. Their effect on land is more severe than the one caused by municipal sewage. It is estimated that 400 million tons of hazardous waste is produced annually, and most of it contributes to land pollution. Around 3.6 million hectares were destroyed by land pollution in 2011 alone.
Water pollution is the presence of a toxic chemical and biological agents that exceeds what is naturally found in the water. Untreated human sewage and cattle excrement causes water pollution. It can be more severely polluted if insecticides, heavy metals, and chemicals like chlorine are involved. It is estimated that 70% of the industrial wastes are dumped into water bodies. 80% of a sewage is discharged untreated. A If the current trend continues, about half of the world population will have no water to drink by 2050.
Air pollution is another main area of concern. Presence of toxic chemicals and compounds in air at levels that pose a health risk is called air pollution. Human activities like mining, construction, transportation, industrial works and smelting are the main cause of air pollution. It can also occur naturally due to volcanic eruptions and wildfires, but this is quite rare. Air pollution is a major risk to human health. It is considered as the fourth biggest threat to our health, behind high blood pressure, dietary risk and smoking. This is mainly because 9 out of 10 people in the world live in places where air pollution exceeds safe limits.
Our environment is under threat due to another reason, known as global warming. It is mainly caused due to greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is a natural phenomenon which keeps the surface of the earth warm. But due to certain human activities like burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, increase in population, its effect has accelerated. This is called enhanced greenhouse effect. This has led to rapid increase in global surface temperature over the past century. Due to high temperature, polar ice caps have started melting and this contributes to an increase in sea level. This can prove disastrous for low-lying coastal regions all over the world. It has also resulted in climate change.
Looking at all this, it seems we have crossed the point of no return. But all hopes are not lost. We can still employ many methods to save our environment. The first one is afforestation. Planting trees in empty barren lands not only contributes to forest cover, but also can be used commercially. Trees check atmospheric carbon dioxide and can curb problems caused due to burning of fossil fuels, industrialization, and so forth. Forests also help reverse the climate change. A switch to renewable sources of energy is also needed. Non-renewable sources such as fossil fuels will get exhausted soon. They are harmful to environment as they release harmful gases on burning. Renewable sources like solar energy are cleaner and more abundantly available. The only problem is their extraction and usage. Each renewable energy source poses a challenge and a race is on to find the most ideal fuel for the future. Certain energy sources like wind and solar are already in use.
Crest is really active in this field. They make biogas plants which use kitchen waste and convert it into biogas. Biogas can be used as fuel for cooking. It is used across the campus for this very purpose. They also encourage others to build and use these biogas plants. Biodiesel is also produced at Crest.
As garbage is a major issue, waste management is also an effective way to save the environment. Waste can take any form, that is solid, liquid or gas. Waste management deals with all these types. The source of these waste may be industrial, biological or household. These wastes are treated to reduce the harm it does on human health and on environment.
All these methods are quite important in our quest to prevent the destruction of our environment. But most of these seem too drastic for a common man. We have to follow them eventually, but we can start with something smaller. It can be as basic as using the right type of plastic. There are various types of plastic. Some are biodegradable, some are not. Each kind of plastic has its own uses. We should try our best to avoid the type of plastics which are not reusable and non-biodegradable. When buying a water bottle or related items, it is advisable to check the plastic number or resin identification number on it. Numbers 2, 4 and 5 are considered safe, with 5 being the safest one among all for our health. Also, reusing the plastic bags at their proper disposal is a good practice. Let's start from these basic steps and move upwards till we start reversing all the negative effects we have had on the environment. We will have to learn to live along with nature like many animals have done. If the nature turns against us, then we will have no choice. So we will have to start acting soon because it is our job to protect our environment.
Now, to sum it all up, we have an interview with Dr. Balakrishna Acharya. He's a professor in psychology and he lives in Aish. He has started an initiative to keep his locality clean and has been very successful at it. Let us hear his thoughts on this matter.
Today we have with us Dr. Balakrishna Acharya, Professor of Psychology. He's an environment enthusiast. So, sir, tell us about yourself.
So in order to keep the environment free from pollution, especially the plastics or maybe garbage, the cleanliness one has to have in his mind. So if he has a mindset to clean his own environment, like the house premises or the roads or maybe neighboring places, then the environment is going to be free from pollution. That is required in everyone's life. It should not come from others as a force to clean and to keep the environment free from pollution. It has to come within oneself. So that should become a model to others. And by having that cleanliness, one will have a positive energy in front of the house as well as the people who pass on. They will also have a positivity in their mind, and that makes them to be happy and more lively.
How cleanliness is important to you, sir?
Cleanliness is important from all directions in order to have a better psychological health as well as physical health and social health.
So, what are your efforts in keeping your surroundings clean, sir?
So that actually I only take an initiative and I only do personally. I will not make the people to do the cleanliness and say that my house and premises are clean. It has to be cleaned by self. That is very important.
So, tell us a little bit about how waste management is important.
Waste management, especially plastic or maybe other household things, it has to be separated and it should be kept in separate boxes. And when the people come, we should not throw the things. It should be kept in boxes or the plastic covers so that the cleanliness we can maintain very well.
So, thank you, sir, for spending your time with us.
Okay, thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.